Aloha Rifters! This is Kiwi coming at you from Rift Scene and our very first Dream Dimensions one-on-one. Thank you very much for joining us and enjoying this transition with me as 2.3 and free-to-play hits Talara. The cherry blossom tree in the background might give you a fair idea of where we are for this very first session of Dream Dimensions 101. So excited. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves as we meet Amity over on Fabelight. Hey, Amity.
Hi Kiwi, hi Rifsine.
Wow, so exciting because I've known Amity for a little while and she used to be a Kalari, and I see you've changed there to something even more awesome.
Yeah, I'm a little shorter so I can see a little better if, things are floating above my tables, the salt and pepper, is possessed. It's good to be a dwarf.
Nice. And what's really perfect about today being our very first session is Amity has done this incredible lighthouse. So tell us a little bit about your wonderful structure here. What's the name of it, Amity?
Well, it's called The Light in the Dark. It's basically, its sub-name could be Hammernail Lighthouse because I knew I wanted a lighthouse here to keep everybody safe off of the rocks at the bottom of the cliff, and I just really wanted to capture the dwarven kind of theme and those shapes and triangles and diamonds that you would see around Hammernell.
Right, and you're a cleric, awesome looking mace there. So, and the title, everything fits in, everything goes together. You've done it, you're outstanding. Stumbling on my words right now. I love what you've done with this bridge here, and you're right. If anybody has seen the level 25 Guild Dimension, the Halls of Shaping, if you haven't been into Hammernail yet, if you're new to Rift and you haven't been there, you'll see that Dwarvens are a huge, or Dwarfs I should say, are a huge fan of design, especially diamond, straight lines, a lot of patterns like this you will see in HK or in the Halls of Shaping. You lead the way if you like, Amity. I'm loving that.
Okay, we come up here and uh, there's a little bit of a platform around here where you can see the former base of the tower was much wider, but it actually seemed shorter when it was wider, so I made it narrower and it somehow magically seemed taller.
Maybe it's because you're a dwarf.
Even before I was a dwarf, it worked. But in here we have the number one thing that people said belongs in a lighthouse, and that is stairs up. And there are quite a lot of.
Whoa, look at that. You use our famous and fabulous pirate stairs, which you can use for so many things. Can't get enough of those. I've seen them used in so many different ways. That is a lot of stairs. Are you a user of Toolbox?
Yes, I like Toolbox just to make sure everything fits because you can put down a couple of pieces and they look straight, and then you get a few more and you realize the whole thing was crooked the whole time, and it's just easier to fix them and make them flat the first time instead of trying to rebuild it over and over.
So for our new players, welcome to Rift, Rift Scene, and Rift Dimensions. Toolbox is an add-on that is used. A lot of it consider it a little bit of a cheat, but it actually isn't. You still have to use a lot of technique, a lot of thought, and remember a whole lot to use Toolbox. And like Amity has used hers to make sure that she has things aligned. Some people use it just to save things. Some people use it completely to make different patterns. Uh, I have toolbox tutorials available, and so do a lot of other great sources, which you'll also find on the official Rift forums. So what do we have up here on this landing?
Well, this is kind of the business area where I've got, an office where you can negotiate, supplies, and then there's a workbench for repairing lights or, Magitech junk.
A lot of items that have been put on here because you had this built before June 12th, which is when free to play and 2.3 kicked in, didn't you?
Yes, some items got changed. Like for example, I had built a hammer out of barrels and a pole, and now I have a real like hammer and tongs that I didn't have to build, and it freed up items for something else. And that's always great to make one thing do the work that more were doing.
Nice. I can see that. So it is possible to achieve a lot of wonderful things. We have fishing items here, world event items, the wedding items. There's a great use of items without needing to spend too many things. You can still get out there and fish. A lot of us will roll our eyes at the thought of that because we've fished for many days and hours. But if you can, I find it therapeutical doing fishing in this game.
I like fishing at bedtime.
Right, it's a nice way to wind down. I love how you've also taken in the views here. This limestone looks terrific against the light in Moonshade, and I love the use of the Menhirs as lights too. Pays perfect homage to what a lighthouse
Yeah,
is.
yeah, I would say that probably 90% of the upgrades in here that happened after 2.3 were building blocks.
Nice, and we keep going up.
Yep, and this level here is our light projection room where there's this kind of crazy Magitex uh, projector to somehow make the light and send it through the ceiling.
Nice, I do love. I mean, we've had so many Magitech items added which are just full on and awesome. But I do love how you've made your own too, and then use a really nice blend of both old and new items. You can see some new ones here, but I just love this whole. I've been to a lot of lighthouses because I love them in real life, and this looks great.
Yeah, thank you. Most of the ones I've been to have been historical, so they don't quite have much of it in the way of a control panel to look at. So I'm just trying to look at Google and figure out what to do. But yeah, this area definitely got beefed up with some new items such as like the glowy cord here to make it seem like power is actually flowing.
Love it, love it, love it. Once again, this limestone is just so striking.
Yeah, previously a lot of the limestone planks were metal, which also are reflective and will reflect the color of the light off of them. But the limestone really takes on the color of the light that hits it, whether it's from the dawn that we're seeing here or just from the lights, like this sconce here makes it very, orange and yellow. And I like that it, is changeable that way, not like something that's non-reflective.
Panning out, giving views here because you can't tell sometimes until you look at things like this and see the amount of alignment that's gone on here. Dimensions really aren't just about artistry, they're about alignment, and you can tell straight away that you've taken in the full views of this dimension and you've placed your whole lighthouse in a way where you can enjoy all of these different views and lights. The sky and Moonshade is absolutely incredible. Can't get enough of the sky, and from every angle, if you take a look at this lighthouse, Amity here has taken full use of how you can enjoy this amazing sky and Moonshade. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love being up here and being able to see the ocean and see Sanctum, in the distance over there. It's really I love the views.
Especially now you're a dwarf, right?
Oh yeah, my head barely reaches the top of the railing now. It was only about waist high before, but now it's much taller. Got to pan up a little bit.
And over there in the distance, is that the Lightkeeper's house?
Yes, that is a little cottage for the lightkeeper to stay in when she's off duty. It's a small home. It's very rustic in contrast to the kind of sleek geometry of the tower.
Nice. We're going to keep heading up and then we'll head on over there and take a great look at that, a good look at that. And here comes some dizziness, guys. Excuse my running upstairs.
Yeah, this stairway is pretty narrow and treacherous, and it's actually easier as a dwarf than it was as an elf. Who's somehow being shorter and taking smaller steps. I don't know.
Yeah, this is always interesting for me because a lot of mine is done via my UI. I have it in such a way where I can watch my steps without having to really think about it. With my UI off, it's a little bit trickier. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, also while building this dimension, I really loved the magic carpet add-on because pre 2.3, if I needed something else, I'd have to pop out and go to the store and then run back up all those stairs. So it was great to be able to just fly back up.
Nice. We do have, there are two of our terrific add-ons. I don't think we've had any new ones added since 2.3, have we?
I haven't heard of any other dimensional add-on at all, just those two.
Giving people pain coming up these stairs. They're having to watch me do this 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 or 5. If it gets any more than this, I'll turn it off so you don't have to do some more paint. And then I go again. At least I'm not falling to the bottom. And what was the
Or you
best
could
thing?
try using the walk instead of run might help.
Hey, I ain't got time for that. Gosh. What was your favourite thing to build in this whole dimension?
I think probably just the structure itself was really fun to build. I had several different iterations of the front panels, and I love the way they seem almost, knitted or woven with the kind of twisting patterns to them. And just, I had previously really considered building structures my weak point because I hadn't really done any. So this dimension was definitely in some ways all about conquering that, fear of structure.
Wow, you've full on conquered it, and I love what you've done here with the ivory veneers that you get from PvP. And I love the way you've used, is that the round mausoleum for the roof there?
Yeah, that's another new addition with 2.3, and that one I think actually saved me 7 items because I had other tiles and an Empyrean generator up there to roof this whole thing, and I think it just the white color and the dome that it already had worked out just great.
So for a lot of our new players that are coming in, something like this might seem quite daunting to them. The structure is amazing. You've just really, I mean, if this is your weakness, everything else that you do is super incredible. I already know this because you've been such a great contribution to the Dimension community. But for a new player, if they wanted to do something like this, what would you suggest that they do to try and think and map something out like this?
Well, I would just say, start where you start somewhere, and this one I actually built from the top down because when the generator was up there, I stood at the zone in and I pushed it as far and as high as I could and still see it. And so I had my height and I had to work down and decide how. But you just have to break it up and get one piece done and then work on the next.
Nice, because like we probably have the same thing when we look at a dimension. Probably maybe the first thing I do is head to the top, get my magic carpet out, jump on up the top, check out my boundaries first and see where I might start, and depending on where you port into the dimension itself. Is that what you do as well?
Yeah, I try to always, greet people with something nice and certainly something that might, direct them to, you know, where the heart of the dimension is and what you really want to see.
Nice. So you've taken in all the views here, guys. You've seen what a momentous lighthouse this is and why this had to be our first story, because it's shining a light on dimensions in such a big way. And Amity is such a great dimension builder, and now she's showing us her weakness. And we're going to head on over to the cottage now. Want me to just jump down?
Oh yes, that's the best thing about having a tower and something high is getting to jump off. That's fun.
Whee! nice use of the new plants and flowers that have come in here. My favorite thing right now. I'm enjoying all the landscaping items. I'm loving all of the new things that have come in. I can't get enough of the flowers and plants.
Yeah, the new plants are really beautiful, and we finally have, more than two types of flowers, and that's great.
Right? And Pirates Day is here again to greet us over at the Lightkeeper's Cottage. Once they are just so versatile to use for so many things.
Yeah, because now they're a deck, and if you look up top, they're also the roof, and they're just definitely multi-purpose.
Nice. I shall follow you into your house. 'Cause you're the Lightkeeper, right?
Of course. But this is just a very kind of open floor plan. Just, and I tried to emphasize just red and blue because those were the things I had, and because the fishing items, just to make everything more cohesive because it is a one room kind of deal.
Alright, a lot of fishing items here straight off the bat. It's great. It's great to see them. It's great to see such a wonderful space. It's so warm and welcoming, which is no surprise because Amity here is, you're a mother of four, aren't you, Amity?
Yes, I am. I have three sons and a daughter, and they're quite a handful.
What's their ages?
They are 8, 6, 4, and 1 year old.
Wow. I really, really, really don't know how you find the time in amongst such a awesome family as well to do such big work in here. So you've used a lot of the new items coming in. I love how you blended together. Amity is also a morphing wonder and genius, one of our many I think in the Dimension community. And for those that are just joining Rift and Rift Dimensions, morphing is when you combine items to create something else, or that may be completely different or of the same use. But basically you're morphing items together to come up with a different look. So you might see that here in the chair right here. That's the red velvet chair and the mahogany chair, isn't it?
Yeah, the red velvet chair by itself just wasn't, substantial enough to be, a wing-back chair that you can kind of see in this kind of situation. So the backless mahogany bench just beefed it up a little bit.
Nice. Now the red velvet chair is a crafted item and the mahogany chair is a vendor item, but look at these light shades. They are fantastic. What is in that
Yep,
item?
those are leather. Those are 6 leather books, a boggling lamp post, and a Kalari vase. So we've got some items from a special quested vendor and fishing items, and of course the leather book you can just buy. And obviously, Toolbox helped getting that rotation perfect, so there weren't any gaps.
It's quite interesting. My camera keeps throwing people in. They're probably going to get dizzy watching me a little bit trying to look at these lights. So I'll apologise in advance. Apologies! Yeah, I love this roof. Pirate stairs, pirate stairs.
Yes, like the inside of the pirate stairs, I already had built-in beams, and it's just like a little less work.
Amazing bedroom. Love the introduction of the new doors that can be look open and make the shapes and what they're made out of, make a room look really great now. It's nice to see those introduced in 2.3. And another great light.
Yeah, that one was, different materials. It's alabaster, um, amphora, and a Bravane cattail. Also with the boggling light on the inside, because I really like the kind of warm yellow glow you get from the boggling lamps.
They are very nice, and I see with the boggling items there's been 2 new chords added as well since 2.3. If anybody hasn't headed out there to take a look. I love how you've kept the views and in all your windows and really kept uh, cherry blossoms flowing here.
Yeah, I think you can see a cherry tree from every window in the house, but because this space was a little smaller, there's holes in the roof and up there the triangular window just to try to make it feel a little more open and not too claustrophobic.
Nice. Into the boudet, the bathroom. Love it. Nice and cozy. I love these taps you've got here.
Yep, that's more fishing items that you would get from Ember Isle Fishing. They're actually tables, and they're just only the feet are shut.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Into the mirror. Oh, fabulous.
And actually, the light in here is one of the new gourds from the Boglings.
There you
So it's
go.
very similar in color, and it's significantly shrunk.
Nice. I'm going to have to play with some of those. I haven't had a chance to have a look at them yet. And what was the thing that you enjoyed least? Was there anything that you found difficult or taxing or cumbersome?
Well, running out of items was really bad. This is probably the first of my own dimensions that I haven't kind of had something in every nook and cranny, and we haven't looked at it. But up on the top of the hill, there's a little gate to tell people that don't bother looking. There's nothing past here,
I'm
and
going there.
I really did not like having to build that and having it empty up there.
Heading up to the gate. And how long did it take you to build this dimension?
It took a few weeks because I am AFK a lot, and I still raid and do experts and zone events. So just the actual building, I'm quite slow compared to some of our other people.
That ain't slow. That's amazing. You can fit. You're doing a guild dimension at the moment as well, aren't you?
Yes, I'm working on the guild dimension for Tractus Apparatus here on Fabelight. It's a care column, and it's now 4,000 items. So that's pretty daunting to try to fill up. But on the other hand, like I do have room to sneak in things like I already put in a slide, and we're planning on having a jump puzzle that we wouldn't have otherwise had. So it's gonna be fun.
So altogether, how many dimensions have you built to get to this standard and to get to this level of dimensioning? Because it is truly astounding.
I would say that this is probably my fifth personal dimension because I started out with a Plaza Orantine where there was not a whole lot of outside construction. It was mostly interior walls and decoration, and then I moved to outside garden space, and I've done a campground, and then when Moonshade Pools was released, I did the big house. So then we're up to this.
So for all of our rifters out there, old and new, do not be daunted by the amazingness that you'll see out there coming into this game. It takes a little while, though. In another breath, we're all hoping our newcomers will raise the bar for us too and give us challenges, so we can enjoy creating new things and inventing new things in dimensions, as they are such an organic process, such a live process that relies on each other to set a pace, if you like. We have new competitions coming out with Tryon bringing out Three Springs Dimension competition that gets judged on July 9th. You'll find that over at Tryon. We have competitions that come up on official forums all the time. And thank you to everybody out there that supports each other by putting these things up and supplementing their game. And I will be over on Rift Scene forums doing the same. I have a lot of items to give away and share and support people's building as they get to meet or keep doing dimensions. And it's dimensions like this that keep me motivated and wanting to keep on building great things as well. Thank you very much, Amity, for bringing us into your dimension over on Fabelight, the light in the dark. It is the perfect way to begin a new series of Dream Dimensions 101 on Rift Scene as we shine a light on dimensions dwarf style. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because once you go dwarf, you don't go back.
There you go. You heard it right here. Thanks, Amity. It's been an absolute pleasure. Love everything you do.
Thanks, Kiwi. I've enjoyed showing you around.
Waving on the inside. See you out there, guys. Enjoy building and making dream dimensions come true.